Positioning, and today we're having a special guest, Mimos Docio.
Yay!
Welcome.
We're going to ask her a few questions because you don't know, but she actually has her own business.
It's called MimosShop.com, and she sells pretty much anything on there.
Black power.
Clothing, shoes,
Accessories. If you follow us on Instagram, you must be following us on Instagram, and you can see that we posted some pictures of her products that she has on her site.
Yes.
And please make sure to follow her. I mean, we're going to remind you again, but please make sure to follow her.
So the first question is, who is Mimos Docio to you?
Well, you know what? I had a elementary teacher in Danville, and we used to do a lot of art in her class. And then when she used to see the way I drew, she constantly encouraged me to continue to draw and design. And then in middle school, I would be in church, and everybody would kneel down and pray, and I'd kneel down too, but I'd have my paper and pencil and pen, and I would be drawing, and ever since then it just kind of stuck with me. She left a big impression in my life. And then eventually, when I wanted to go to school, my parents didn't well support me. They always wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer, something they think is greater than any other occupation or career. But I went to school for it anyways, and I just wind up being a fashion designer in school, and I love it.
Which school did you go to?
Art Institute of Colorado.
Yeah,
For 3
too.
years. You did?
Yes.
Wow.
We're going to have to talk after the show. Yeah. So, why did you transition from being a fashion designer to opening up an online, I'm so sorry, a store full of other designers?
I realized that sometimes in order to start your own dreams, you have to jumpstart other people's dreams. And at the end of the day, I had to start from ground zero, and other designers were already established. So it allowed me, because they already have buying power from their customers, it allowed me to sell their dreams on my website, so that with all the funds that are coming in, it would allow me to then make my own dreams so where I could be a fashion designer.
I like that.
I know.
All right, next question. How was the idea of MimosShop.com born?
How was it born? Okay. I started trying to create. I wanted to sell my designs for years since I finished Art Institute. I made so many designs and I wanted to sell them. So I started creating a plan on my computer, Mimos online boutique, and also Mimos storefront. So that way people can purchase my designs online, and then they can maybe give it to a seamstress to make their clothes, like people that have prom, things like that. Or I would have my own seamstress, they would purchase my design, and then I would make the clothes and sell it that way. And then when I realized the funds didn't meet the expectations and the passion that I had to figure out another way. Just the name Mimos and the online kind of stuck with me, and it kind of just transitioned into having a clothing store online versus selling my designs online or having a storefront.
That's good.
Nice. The next one. Do you wear your own merchandise, and why?
I do. I firmly believe in quality. I'm a very picky person, and I feel like people don't buy into what you have. They buy into you. They buy into who you are. And if you don't believe in what you sell, they won't buy it. And I feel like it allows me to also market what I have so that people can actually see that they're good quality, and eventually they will want to buy it eventually. So that's why I do it.
That's very important to market. We'll talk after the show. What are the 3 things you find most challenging when building an online business?
Okay. The first thing that kind of sticks in my mind is marketing is one of the greatest challenges probably for any company, any business, doesn't matter if it's small or big. The first thing that they try to work on is the marketing strategy. I realize that you have to turn your followers into customers and your viewers into buyers. And that starts with coming up with a marketing plan that builds a need for people. A lot of people want things, and a lot of people need things, but being able to allow them to get the combination of both in that marketing, that would be one of the great things I'm working on right now is marketing. Another challenge would be purchasing power, like buying things. I find that when you're doing it by yourself, it's just your budget, it's just your money, and when you're not pulling it in with other people, it's very difficult and challenging because it takes away the amount of time frame that you could have, super exceed if you had the purchasing power. And the third thing, I don't think that there's a third thing for me, but for some people they might mentally think that is balancing your personal life with your business. It is difficult for some people to do, but I truly believe in, it's called the 80-20 rule. 80% of your effort have to go towards the business, and 20% you have to give to your personal life. And that's the way it works. That's the way I believe in order for your business to strive, you have to start like that.
What is your opinion regarding building a company with one or more businesses partners versus solely running a business on your own?
There's a lot of pros and cons to building a business on your own versus having partners. For any business, eventually you need a partner. You can start doing it on your own, because I like to have the wheel. It's like when you're on your own, you have the ability of driving the car on your own. You can spend as much as you want. You can put as much time, dedication, effort, and passion as much as you want. And sometimes when you try to work with somebody together, because I had a partner in the previous business, and I realized my passion was greater than that individual's passion. My work ethic was different. I wanted it more. I wanted it better. I put in more effort, and it was very frustrating. And I put in all my money into that business, and I realized I was trying to build his dream for us together, when in fact I was tearing it down because I put in too much, and I should have actually allowed that person. Yeah, it should have been 100%. When I realized when people say 50-50, a lot of times I'm thinking I'm giving 50% of my effort when I should be giving 100%. So I'm like, I can't put 50% in, I have to put 100% in, and you have to put 100% in. If I put 100% in, you're putting 50% in, it's not going to work. It's not going to allow the business to grow as great as we want it to be. But as far as having teammates, it's the best thing because it allows you to, you'll get there twice or 3 times as fast depending on how many people are there collectively. You'll have more fun, you'll have more creative ideas. And let's just say you're giving 15 hours of your time, you're giving 20, you're giving 15. As long as you give 100% of your 10 hours when you put in that business, and you're giving 100% of your 20 hours, your business will be successful. And if you're not giving, only 50% of your 15 hours, that business will not succeed as great as you would like it to be. So I think building, it can go both ways. But at the end, it's just going to have to end with building.
The next one. What are the most significant sacrifices that you had to make in order to make the mostshop.com possible?
I have to give up a lot. Temporary. I call them temporary give-ups. I gave up getting a car right away. When we moved here, me and my sister, we were bringing up the bed, and my bed broke. And around that time, I wanted to get a car, so I postponed getting me another bed, so I kept the mattress. And then the business came along and I was trying to build for the business, and I realized I had to sacrifice getting a bed now. And it took me almost a year to get a bed because I was trying to build a business. Sometimes you have to sacrifice your relationship. That's the reason why I'm not in one now, because I gave that up as much as I wanted to keep it, because it took away time from me and that individual. Your family, a lot of times they want you to go out and spend time, and sometimes you have to miss events of building a business, and that's what any company, you sacrifice now to gain later. So that's one of the most important things that I've learned.
Has the process of growing a new business been difficult to you for you, and why?
It was difficult. There's a lot of difficulties when building a business because you're striving to get people to believe in what you do. You're striving to get people to buy what you have, and you're trying to show that there's a need for it. So getting over that hurdle is always going to be difficult with any business. They always say the first 3 years of a business, a lot of businesses fail. You know, and only a small percentage actually go on to build a really good business. And I realized that you have to continue and press on in order to get past the storm and in order to see the end of the light.
Do you have a support system in place which allows you to maintain your composure, discipline, and good habits while building a business? For example, like family, friends, companions, partners?
Yeah. To be honest, at first, I didn't have a support partner. I was doing everything on my own. I could probably say my younger sister, when I started, I forced her to support me. The thing is, people don't know how important something is to you until you show them how important it is to you. And that's probably one of the things I've learned. Sometimes you have to fight for the support, and I realize people don't believe in you right away because they're not expecting you to fail. They're waiting on the sideline to see if you will succeed.
Yeah.
So I realized that you may not get a lot of support now, but I strongly encourage you to maybe find somebody that is so into what you're doing that will be your support partner, whether it being an active partner or a silent partner. It's important to have the support, starting from the get-go, because you can get discouraged and you need somebody to be able to say you can continue to press on that.
Makes sense.
Can you elaborate more on what it is like having a support system?
It is, it allows me to stay encouraged, disciplined. Sometimes, like I say, my sister is a good example. I'll ask her for advice. You can ask people for advice without having to pay them anything. If you see someone that's well fashioned forward, asking them their opinion, that a lot of times allows you to see what you want to get for your business, no matter what it is. It doesn't have to be fashion, it can be t-shirts or food or whatever you're trying to sell. And it's really important to have a support system, because without that, a lot of times people tend to fail themselves. And if the business doesn't fail, they fail the business. But I believe that.
Yeah,
That's true.
What are some self-encouraging routines you have in place that allows you to continue what you do?
First thing I do is I start with music. Music is so positive, because when I'm on the programs, cropping and cleaning up the photos, it can be very tedious and long and hours. So I try to put music on while I'm doing it, and other times I'll take a break to maybe watch a show and then go back to it, kind of step away from it, because it can be boring when it's very, very quiet. So trying to find ways to get you to continue doing your business and to continue doing the little stuff that allows your business to succeed, I think it's really important. I get up 3 hours before I have to go to work so I can get ready really quick and so I can work on my business. And I try to put even a like a schedule for me to go to sleep, like a curfew where I can go to sleep earlier and get up earlier because you're more active and awake while you're during the day versus at night. You're more beat up and tired.
You sound like dedication. Dedication.
Yeah.
How has starting a company affected your personal relationship with others?
It makes it very difficult to be in a relationship when you're just starting from scratch and you're the only one doing it. You're putting 120%. You're not putting just your effort, but you're acting as two people working on one business, and it takes away from sometimes for some people being able to juggle a relationship or being able to juggle going out on dates because you really can't give enough effort. Around December, I was trying to go on some type of dating site just to see if I could just get out there, and I realized I was doing so many hours, not just at work, but for my business, and I really didn't have time, and it's not fair to other people, but you have, a lot of times you have to, sometimes you have to make that sacrifice when you're doing it by yourself. If you have a partner, it's a lot easier because you're doing it together, you're building a future together, so it's easier because you're sharing the responsibility, but I had to give up a lot of those things, and I chose to give them up because at the end of the day, no one's going to build a business for me but myself, and no one's going to volunteer and say, hey, let me help you out. So I had to learn that sometimes you have to be a little bit selfish and give up a couple of things, at least for now. And it's just a temporary give up. People don't realize that when they feel like the word give up, they have to sacrifice. They feel like they're never going to get those things back. That's not the case. Sometimes you have to put things aside in order to get to where you need to go and then continue from there.
That reminds me of this movie I watched with the girl she was a princess in Disney, that lady.
Princess Diary?
Yeah, she played in this movie where she...
Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, she had the business. Her husband said, okay, I'll quit my corporate job and stay at home with their daughter so you can do your business. And at the end, she eventually had to get another partner to take over because it was affecting her relationship and her relationship with her daughter.
It really does.
But in the beginning, she made those sacrifices.
Mm-hmm. So sometimes you have to miss those ball games or miss the ballet dances. When they're young, they remember it then. But when you're making millions of dollars, they're not going to remember it then. Now, when they're a little bit older, and sometimes you have to do it in a couple of years in order to be able to support your family. So those are the temporary give-ups because at the end there's a greater gain for it.
What is one of the universal advice that you would offer someone creating and building an online company?
I would tell them, don't take your foot off the gas. Keep your blinders on and stay focused. It's almost like exercising. Everybody starts doing it in the beginning of the year. And after the first month, out of 100, 70 of them stop doing it. And then after 3 months or 6 months, 20 more, and you have the 10 that actually stick it out throughout the year and actually accomplish the goals that they, that they set out to accomplish. So it's really important to, when I say put your blinders on, sometimes you have to even say the word no. You have to learn and get accustomed and get comfortable with the word no. I had to get comfortable with telling people no. I didn't like doing it, but I had to do it. Because if I kept saying yes, here you go, you'd be giving everything and you would have nothing in return. So sometimes you have to allow yourself to grow as a person, your business to grow, your funds to grow before you start giving it out to other people. So you have to keep your blinders on. Learn to say the word no. It's very comfortable. It's N-O. It's very easy to say now that you are actually starting to see that your business is getting there slowly but surely.
Yeah.
What are you hoping for others to get out of this interview?
It's never too late. Some people give up too easy. Some people give up too quick, and some people don't have enough belief. I think that you have to believe that it's possible and continue to have a goal. And when you have goals, sometimes you have to write it on paper. Sometimes you have to put it on a board. Sometimes you, on your computer, like I want a house and I designed it from the program I bought, and it's a mansion, and that's what I want. And I did it from scratch. I did it on a paper first, and from there I built from it. And I'm trying to, as much passion as you have to be consistent. I strongly would recommend it to, if you fail at something, it's not really fail, it's something that didn't work out for you, like what you thought you wanted it to work out. It's okay to begin again. You know, just because it didn't work out for you doesn't mean you can't start over again. Starting over is the easy part. It's continuing and going through the finish line, or what you consider the finish line. I always consider it stage 1, stage 2, and from there. I never consider a finish line, because from there, where can you grow from? So there's always stages in life, and I really feel, and I strongly encourage people to begin again. Whether it's 10 years or 20 years down the line, start over and continue from there.
And what is your hope for the future of mimoshop.com?
I wanted to transcend to where eventually it will allow me to have the preschool that I want to build, and have my online design, my designs online, and a storefront, and eventually I want to build from there. And in the future, I want to be big. I want to make millions. A lot of people say it, but they don't necessarily take the steps that will allow them to take them there.
Very true.
The first thing I would probably say is I save a lot. I budget, I save, I give up a lot. The good thing about it is when you have a business, you don't necessarily give up right away. Like, I buy my own clothes, so I don't have to buy them retail at a store. That allows me to also give people discounts, because then they can save as well. I want people to feel like they can save when they buy it on my website. So yeah, I really hope that from the future I can have multiple businesses after mimoshop.com.
That's good.
Hey, welcome back. We're going to be showing some collections from mimoshop.com. Enjoy.
See, Tiffany, she's wearing a bodycon long sleeve dress. Good for the winter, the color, great for fall, and also, you know, Christmas season as well. And it's really, you can wear it mostly for evening, probably for movies, but really for like dinner dates. She's also wearing a scissor earring. Really, I love those earrings. You can actually put them down, or you can actually hook them to the side like that. So you can get like 2 different looks from the earring. And it's actually called the Melanie dress. Melanie bodycon dress. You can find it on my website. When you register, you get 10% off. On top of that, I'm actually wearing one of my jeans from,
Love it.
it's a website. It's a shredded distressed jean, and you'll also find it on my website.
Well, thank you for enjoying our episode. Like, comment, and subscribe. Love you.